Oh man. All right. Yeah. Nope. Turn that off. Leave that on. Somebody tell me I have cats in the house without saying I have cats in the house. That would be it right there. That would be the one. Good morning, beautiful people. How are you today? How is the day going? Are you ready to? It's a day, an awesome day for you. Is it okay? Is it meh? Are you ready to go back to bed? You tell me, what is it, guys? I'm Coach Ken. I'm up in Anchorage, Alaska. Hope you guys are having an awesome day today. Man almighty, how are you? All right. How are you guys doing today? Good morning. Good morning. We're going to start that poll. Why is that not going up there? It should be up there. Start. There it is. There it is. How is the day going? How is the day going? I'm Coach Ken. I'm up in Anchorage, Alaska. How are you guys today? Oh, come on, people. Don't be assholes. Don't be like that. You just left the room as soon as I started talking. What the heck's up with that? Jeez. How's your day? Tell me about it. Tell me about it. What's it feeling like today? What is the day going? How are you guys doing? Coach Ken, I'm up here in Anchorage, Alaska. Good morning. How are you today? How is the day going? How can I help the day be better? How can I help the day? I'm going to focus on body, mind, and soul. That's what we're talking about, right? Who we got? We got blessings from Israel. Well, blessings to you, my friend. We're out over in Israel. What time is it over in Israel? What day is it in Israel? Wow, that's pretty awesome. I'm in Anchorage, Alaska. So you and I are on kind of like on the opposite sides of the world right now. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Um, Welcome. How's the day going? There's a big question. How is the day? Where are you guys coming in from? Right, it's about 5 o'clock p.m. here. Okay, good deal. Good deal. That's awesome. Folks coming in, welcome in. How are you guys today? How's the day going? Make sure you answer the poll. It's about 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock over there. What's the temperature like? I don't know what time of year it is over there. How does that work? How does that work? Just out of curiosity, because it's different here. It is 25 degrees. A week ago we were negative 25, so and we got about 20 inches of snow up here in Alaska. So kind of crazy. Really and truly, holy crap! It was a lot of damn snow. I'm telling you what it is. Pardon my French. I'm a pastor and I shouldn't say things like that, but it was a lot of snow. It was a lot of work. Oh, come on. Don't quit leaving the room if you're not going to say anything. What the heck? Why even come in? Like, people are like, hmm. I like to hear, the crazy thing about it. Tell me if it's not like crazy. I've been around TikTok and, rooms where people are sleeping and they have like 200 people in a room watching people sleep. Right? So we're having an awesome day. Awesome day. Very good. Everybody's having an awesome day so far. How's your day going? I'm Coach Ken. I'm up in Anchorage. It's a little chilly, but I'm out on patrol, so I keep warm walking. All right. All right. Now, is it true that answer this question that you're on patrol? Is it true that everybody in Israel at like a certain age you have to serve um like in I don't know if it's the police, military, and that kind of thing. I think that's if it is. I always kind of thought that was was part of it. I think everybody ought to go through like in the U.S. I think everybody should go through a scouting program. You know those things. Learn about. I always said as a scout, probably the best thing that I ever learned. A scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. I think that's important, right? I mean, that's just some values, some really core integrity things. It helps with the mindset when days go to crap, right? That's a huge thing. and it challenges us. All right, so some people answer the polls. Thank y'all so very much. How do we make that day better? How do we move it from going back to bed? How are you going to move it from going back to bed to the awesome level? All right. How are we going to do that? And maybe listening to me is making you want to go back to bed. And if I will help you go to sleep, listen to my voice, right? I'll put you to sleep. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I don't know. Here's the thing. Yes, it is mandatory to serve, and I'm a woman, and there's a lot of women soldiers. I think that is such an incredible thing to be doing. And I know that's, of course, out in the world of YouTube. That's brave that you're talking about that. I gotta say, because there's always a lot of people that have opinions. Now, I try to be very neutral in a lot of ways. Um, and that's, I hope you understand that. Astro Novalite said, "Hi, how are you?" Awesome, awesome. And I say that because there's a lot of opinion, you know, as well as there's a lot of opinions, and there's just a lot of crap that goes on. And there's so many things that we don't know about that go up behind the scenes. And I've seen it in my 54 years of life more than I wish that I did. All the things that happen behind the scenes that we don't know. But I applaud anybody that is following those core values that are inside of you. I mean, you've got those core values that are sitting there, and you know, like I said, that simple thing. Thank you for the subscribe, Astro. I appreciate that. Is that, you know, as a scout, are you trust? I love that trustworthy thing. Here's the thing, and as I talk about nutrition, um, here's the thing. So many times we are only being told half of the story. I always like to say there's your story, there's their story, and then somewhere in the middle is the truth, right? And I feel like when it comes to the whole issues that we are facing right now, uh, yeah, I bet you are. I bet you are. You know, it doesn't matter in any of the my life. I've been a pastor for 30 years. I do real estate. I do nutrition coaching, and I get on social media and even just in life, I get criticized no matter what I do. So yeah, you're used to that. Um, and you know, I have friends that are um, uh, all religions, and so and I grew up with Muslims down the street who I love to death that are friends of mine, and they have their perspective on things. And you know, sometimes I agree with them, and sometimes I don't. Even as a Christian, there's in our faith perspective, there's a lot of different things and a lot of different opinions. When we look at my wife, Dr. G, that does this channel with me, when we talk about nutrition, there is more than one, approach to health. That's one of the things that you go get a second opinion, and I recommend that because within the standard of care, there are different approaches that doctors take, and we don't hear that enough. Um, I listened to a doctor that says he's given himself the title of America's cardiologist, that said the other day, "I don't have time to listen to your questions. You need to just take the medications that I give you." And what kind of crap is that? You want to you want to turn the day to crap, is to throw that stuff out there, right? To listen to a doctor that says, "I don't have time to help you. I don't have time to answer your questions." I mean, what's wrong with that? Well, here's the thing. I want to read a little bit. This is and share a little bit. This is from the 30-day diabetes cure, which for me and my wife, we reversed our type 2 diabetes using a natural protocol. And one of the things that her being a doctor was huge. And the thing is, the system, not the doctor, really is to blame. That's something that we don't hear enough. The fewer physicians specialize in diabetes treatment. That's what the studies show. They don't do a treatment other than medications. Most doctors do not know about nutrition. We've been seeing that over and over again, that we don't hear enough about it. We are influenced so much by our own lifestyles, maybe from our own families and from how we approach things, right? Got to run. Things are kicking off. Bless you and bless your family. Israel P5S. Make sure that you subscribe, please. Please. Yes, you got to. All right. You take off and you be safe out there. All right. I pray you are safe. And God's blessings on you as you have to take off and do your work. Okay. You be safe and take good care of yourself. Today's physician is time crunched. That's one of the reasons why that doctor, that cardiologist said what they did was, you know what? They don't have time. They don't have time. The insurance companies are telling them what they have time for. And that is now impacting our whole world that we don't get to do that. All right. They don't have time. All right. They're rushed. We all are rushed. So you don't get that information. So you're forced to go looking for it. Maybe you have to go get the education. You have to do the reading. As a nutrition coach, I try to fill in that gap, to be in that place that helps people, all right, and to helping people on that journey with the issues. I want days to be at least okay, if not awesome for you, right? That's where I want you to be. I want you to be up here, right? These worry me. And thankfully, there's no meh, but going back to bed, there's stuff to do, right? Here's the thing: by doing certain things, your doctor could lose their license. I've got doctor friends of mine, Dr. Tiff, Dr. C, have all been challenged by talking about natural solutions. Been taken to court, been put into lawsuits because of this. That's a load of crap. That's a load of crap. That is so unfortunate that we are putting doctors in that situation that want to help people, right? That's personal to me. We'll go into it more. All right. Investors and doctors are the ones that stand to make the money. And don't tell me that doctors aren't making anything, because they are. You can sit here and doctors have gone and talked about it because they get invited to go to conferences where they get to speak. Is it something that they're getting under the table? No. Well, that's under the table in part, but it's all legal. They're going to go speak at a conference because they endorse certain medications, that they go through and they do things the way that they're supposed to do. That's not how this is supposed to work, right? Here's what they're not telling you: type 2 diabetes is not a blood sugar disease. Type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, is not a blood sugar disease. The doctors are not telling you that. Here's the other one: lowering insulin, not blood glucose, is the only real solution. We've got to bring insulin levels down. Every single time that you are consuming, your blood sugar spikes, your insulin increases. When you're pigging out, when you're shoving stuff in the pie hole, folks, I know, I did it. I did it. That's why I was 200 pounds, right? Because I kept shoving stuff in the pie hole and the doctors weren't telling me what to do. How many of y'all have been in that place? How many meals a day do you eat? All right, I got a better one. What animals graze all day? Think about that for a second. What animals are grazing all day? Think about it. If there's one that I can think of right off the top, is cows. It's cows now. I'm not going to argue with a steak. I'm not going to argue with that at all, right? But what do? They're grazing all day long. They're feeding on carbs all day long. All right. So that's so very critical that we got to understand. So what are we doing? We're grazing. We find ourselves grazing all day. That's what we keep doing, and it's not helping us. Too much insulin, not overeating, is what makes us fat. When insulin is high, the fat defies. When insulin is low, the fat will go. All right. When insulin is high, the fat will defy. When insulin is low, the fat will go. As long as insulin is high, fat can't go anywhere. You cannot burn the fat. If there's one thing that we're going to talk about more than anything on the channel, we got to bring those insulin. And you don't want to hear that. Go away if this is not for you. If you want to get healthy, all right, you got to deal with that right there. This is what doctors are not saying. This is why hearing from doctors in the field is so important. Obesity does not cause diabetes. Obesity does not cause diabetes. Losing weight does not make you healthy. Being healthy helps you to lose weight. You get what I'm talking about? Are you getting what I'm throwing down here? Is that tracking there? All right. Losing weight is a misguided goal. You got to get healthy. You got to get healthy. And that is so much more That is, obesity is only one aspect of it. That's only one part of it. It's only one part of it. All right. You don't need to feel guilty. You don't need to be shamed into this. All right. You want to go back to bed. I totally get it. All right. But that's not how it has to be. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. God made you to be incredible. God made you to have an incredible day, to be blessed beyond measure. All right, exercise is a poor way to lose weight. You can't move more to lose weight. It is helpful, but it's not the only thing. Drugs will not save you. Being on medication will not save you. It's not going to do it. Reversing type 2 diabetes and prediabetes is simple. And I'm going to share exactly how we can do this. I'm going to share exactly how we can do it. If y'all stay, I'm going to show you right here. This is me and Dr. G. I'm going to pull up my screen here just a second. All right. This is so simple. And you can see what we did. All right. There's us right there. All right. That was us with diabetes. This is us after we reversed it. All right. When I sit here, hey, parkour, how are you? Parkour God, good to see you this morning. All right. So that was us when we were diagnosed with diabetes. Dr. G was pre diabetic. I was diabetic. That was us with natural means, not listening to the doctors, listening to the people that were actually specialists in insulin. We were listening to doctors, just not different. We were listening to different ones. Now, me, here's a little piece of merit advice. Listen to your spouse. Listen to your partner. All right. That's Dr. G. That's my wife. I listened to her. She saved my life. I'm passing on what life-saving advice my wife, who's a doctor, gave to me. I mean, if you want something that is a game changer, listen to your wife. You marry a good woman, all right? Marry a good man. All right. Usually it's better if you we're not going to go. For me, I married a good woman. I've been blessed twice in my life. All right. I've been blessed twice. All right. A blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then. I found it twice. So there you go. So my life is awesome. My day is awesome right there. Right. So Dr. G was the one that got on the phone, called a nurse who's a diabetes educator that told us that there is an easy way to reverse type 2 diabetes, right? The biggest thing was understanding that it comes from something called insulin resistance. All right. Prediabetes has to do with something called insulin resistance. And when we realize that and we understand that, those things that our doctors are not telling us, that's where the game change happens, right? That's where the game change happens. So how do we get here? Well, here's the thing. So when we talk about it, let me see if I can do this. Where are we at? Where are we at? Um, insulin resistance. I'm going to move my little thing down. Is it going to do that? It's not going to do that. I'm going to make that a little smaller. All right, maybe we still see it. There we go. Oh, it's in my face. Now it's all over. There we go. All right. Insulin resistance we're looking at right here. All right. We're talking about insulin resistance, diabetes. We're talking about cancer. We're talking about PCOS. We're talking about heart disease. We're talking about these things. And we're talking about the signs up here. All right. Constant fatigue. How many of y'all are tired all day? You're tired and exhausted all day. And the doctor, you're just feeling like you got to do caffeine, right? The doctor, you're not sleeping good at night because you're exhausted all day. If that's you, type me in the comment. Let me know. Changing those things are huge. And what we're not being told, right, is what happened. Why are we dealing with this issue so much? This is what I'm saying. The doctors are sitting there not telling us that reversing type 2 diabetes and prediabetes is not difficult. It's actually super simple. But understanding this huge part of it has to do with the food environment that we live in. That's the piece. If there's one thing that we do not hear near enough about, is what happened. All right. And let's see. That's not the one I wanted. This the one. Nope. Oh, my slides are all off. We should have one in here. That's helping. There we go. A little bit. A little bit better. To fix this, we've got to change some things in our habit in our life. All right, in this modern food environment, changing some things can change everything about this. And not knowing that intermittent fasting and doctors not talking about the importance of fiber are huge. And that's a big part of this is understanding when I say this is simple, it is bloody simple. And that means for any of these things that we're talking about, every single one of these has to do with how we are living. Let me see. I'm trying to see where, there we go. Here's the, yeah. So in our current situation, without the protocol, this is what's happening all day. Our blood sugar is spiking and our insulin is increasing. We need to be down in this yellow line. Doing the protocol and what I'm helping you with right here is this game changer. That's the solution to the biggest part of this problem is we've got to have that. We've got a solution to that, right? And not hearing about it is not helping. That's why teaching about it is why I do, and I'm here to help. All right, is to help answer those questions that you have, that so many other people have, that are dealing with the issue that we're not hearing anything about. Making those simple changes can change everything, especially because fiber was taken out of our foods. That's probably the biggest thing that we don't hear enough about is how that was done. So the protocol, when we look at it, we're talking about putting fiber back in. We're talking about putting fiber back in our food in the easiest way possible. Now, I coach on people is to say, hey, we can add foods. We can broccoli, kale, cauliflower, spinach, we do romaine lettuce, all that are good fibers. When we consume fibers, all right, that coats the esophagus, all right. I make sure though, when I did this and I started this, and Dr. G got me on this was the game changer. I stopped having migraines within the very first week. I know that's crazy, but that's the reality. Within 2 weeks, Dr. G was reversing neuropathy and fibromyalgia. The other thing for us was adding this right here, and that is the yerba mate. This helps you manage your blood pressure. All right. Cardiovascular is a huge part of this. That, again, I hate to say that we don't hear enough about it, but we don't. This makes fasting easier. And when we lower those we're able to make it easier to go through and not pig out all the time. It makes it so much easier. So the protocol is a huge help. And all it is simply drinking fiber before the meals that we eat and drinking and sipping on the tea throughout the course of the day. Those two things were complete game changers for us. That was what it did. And when we did that, that change that I'm talking about, that's what happened for us. That's what happened for me and Dr. G right here. That was the life change that happened for us is we got our life back because of this. Right? It wasn't listening to the doctors other than I listened to my wife. I listened to my wife and it changed my life. Now, there's a good one to keep in mind, guys. Listen to your wife, change your life. Listen to your wife, change your life. That's huge, right? That's huge. We all could do a little bit more of that during the day, right? I know we could all do a little bit more of listening to our wives during the day to get the benefits from that, all right? If you're not married, then that's all right. I'll help you listen to my wife, all right? She will help you. She saved my life, and because of her advice, I'm helping to save other people's lives. That's why we talk about what we talk about. Here's the thing. And those of you, you're not sure. You're not sure. Well, let me tell you a little bit about this. So, this whole issue, this is what our whole channel is dedicated to. But I like to talk a little bit more about life and getting to meet people from around the world. It's pretty damn cool. So, where are y'all coming in from? I'm Coach Ken. I'm up in Anchorage, Alaska. Just sharing a little bit. Those of y'all here. So, here's the thing. Let me share with you some. These are some other wives. This is from Ro. Now, she works with heart patients, and let's see if I can get this up.
I work with heart patients. I have been, my name is Ro. I am from Texas. I work with heart patients. I have been diabetic for 7 years. They give you the top three, your metformin, your statin drug, your blood pressure medication. I've done it for years. I learned back in March that my A1C score was over 14%. Now, in order to be type 2, that number starts at 6.5. Mine was over, couldn't be read or measured according to the lab. So that wasn't a big thing to me until I was presented with insulin injections. My husband had that look. It was a look of fear and it was a look of concern until I had time, tea, and fiber, and my life definitely changed for the better. 37 days on the protocol, on the system, using the tools.
Right.
My A1C that was over 14% is now 7.5. 3 months after that, I was 5.9, still unmedicated. I'm down 31 pounds. My blood pressure normalized. My LDL was 231. 37 days later, it was 91. And it was like, you got to be kidding me. I'm totally sold. The system is life-giving, life-changing.
All right. So listen to your wife. Save your life. If you're not married, listen to somebody else's wife. All right. I just want listen to somebody if it's helpful. All right. Listen to your wife. Save your. I think that's going to be my new. That should be my new live thing, right? Listen to your wife. Save your life. All right. This is from Katie. Katie, similar story, a little bit different.
Katie, and I struggled with prediabetes, weight gain, high cholesterol, skin tags, PCOS, and so much more. I started the protocol and it helped me not only lose over 90 pounds, but I reversed my prediabetes, lowered my A1C from 5.7 to 5.1. I've lowered my cholesterol with my triglycerides from over 200 to 53 and also raised my HDL from 49 to 65. And I also got off my metformin that I took for over 20 years. I am so grateful that I found this because it is simple, it is effective, and it is doable. It has completely changed my life. I'm not stopping anytime soon.
All right, so what am I talking about? So we're talking about the simplest things, and I'm going to keep this super simple for those of y'all that are coming in. I can get where is my maybe y'all can help me. What is the vegetable that you love the most? I'll change mine. If you could sit there and you could plan out a meal, what would be the vegetable that you would pick? If you could plan out your perfect meal, what vegetable would you pick to start that meal? What would be the one that you do? What is your perfect vegetable that you would that look? And like I say, if you're carnivore, whatever. All right, but no, I want you to think about it because we're going to talk about this. I'm going to give you the trip right here. If you want to get healthy, if you want to do this year, here's the thing. Type in your comment, favorite vegetable. Maybe I need to do the poll. What is the favorite vegetable? All right, I'm going to change it to a Q&A. All right, let's see. Oh, it won't let me do it right now. Favorite vegetable. Y'all type it in the comment. Y'all are here. Favorite veggie. All right, Q&A. All right, favorite. I got to work on this. Fave veggie. So we're going to start this one right here. Favorite veggie. Here is the day. All right. So most people are having a good day. Good poll today. All right. Everybody that did. What is your favorite veggie? Why is this important? How you eat changes everything about your health. If you go fiber, fats, and proteins, this is a game changer. So what would be a good veggie? So here's a list. I'm going to give you guys a list. You can check out my channel. All right. Asparagus. Who's this? I hate asparagus. Screw that. Bok choy. Hate broccoli. I like. Brussels sprouts. No, thank you. All right. Cabbage. I'm good with cabbage. Had cabbage last night. It was good. Cabbage is good. Cauliflower is good. I like cauliflower. Do a lot with cauliflower. Celery's good. Good snack. Good one to give crispy snack right there. Right. All right. Cucumber. How many of the cucumber people? Cucumber? Type in the comment. If you love your cucumbers, I'm a cucumber person. Like my pickles. All right. What are those favorite veggies? All right. Eggplant. No, not an eggplant. It's got to be just the right one. Right. All right. How about this one? Fennel. Weird ones. All right. Green beans. I'm a good green bean person. Redneck from down south. Like my green beans. All right. Greens of all types. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Greens are okay. All right. I'll go with that one. Jicama. How many of y'all like jicama? Never had it. So I can't even do anything on it. So I can't even say. All right. Lettuce of all types. I'm good with lettuce. I like lettuces. All right. Romaine. is excellent. That's my favorite. That's when it looks at that, right? All right. Cucumbers belong in gin. All right. I like my carrots as a pickle. All right, which is good because it also doesn't break a fast either. All right, so no, I like that. It was a good one. It was good landmark. I appreciate that one. There's a very good one. All right, my stepson would agree with that for sure. Mushrooms, I'm all right with that one. All right, okra. Out fried okra. Oh damn, this is a southern boy. Don't give me that slimy crap. Oh, don't get. And people doing okra. Do y'all understand how disgusting okra water is? I'm getting in my face right there because that is nastiness. I see these people here drink okra water. That is nasty. I would rather drink piss than okra water. I'm like, yeah. Yeah. Did y'all know the Gatorade scientists actually did that? Because all of the kids on the team at Florida, University of Florida, said it tasted like piss, so they actually did that. I'm not gonna drink piss. That's just gross. But I sure as hell am not drinking okra water. That's just nasty. Um, yeah, it does. It does. If you can cook with it, that's totally fine. But I just assume eat it. Fry that stuff up. Man, my mama makes the best fried okra in the world. And if you're putting it in gumbo, oh, that's good stuff. My wife's from New Orleans. I'll do it there. That's all right. That's all right. But yes, it has its benefits. It has its place. But I ain't drinking okra water. But as good low carb veggies that help, that's a good one right there. But you are completely right, Landmark. Exactly. Onions are a great veggie when it comes to getting the good fibers that we need to get in our diet. Peppers, like pumpkins, I'm good with. All right. Radishes, yeah, I'm like, yeah, put it in the right place. I'll deal with it. Shallots, I'm good with that one. Snow peas, I'm okay with that one. Spinach, love me some spinach. Love me. I like my spinach raw. Now, if you can give me a raw spinach salad, that right there, that's the bomb. Give me protein right at the start of the meal. Again, increase the fiber. All right. That's going to coat the food that you're going to eat. So that's why we start a meal: fiber, fats, and proteins, or fiber, protein, fats. I do fiber, fats, and proteins now just because the idea of 30, 60, 90 is something that people can remember really well. Okay. So sprouts, yeah, I feel like I'm eating worms. Right? I can't do sprouts. Squash. Spaghetti squash. I love spaghetti squash. That is a great way if you're missing the noodles, getting spaghetti squash. Didn't even know that existed. I said, that's why I love my wife. Listen to your wife, save your life. Spaghetti squash, it's a squash that I will eat. Put that, make a good bolognese with that. Yes, getting good foods right there. All right, so sugar snap peas, yeah, I'm all good with that. Tomatoes, turnips, zucchini, I'm good with those. All right, so what we want to do is get at least 2 of those. We want to make sure that we're getting a balance of fiber. We want soluble and insoluble fibers. So we do fibers, 30 grams, 30, 60, 90, fiber, fats, and proteins. 60 grams of fats. All right, what are we looking at? We're looking at these right here. Carrots. Yes, carrots are not the best for fiber. Those are ones that really are in that starch and sugar. I'm not going to say no to that, but as far as getting the really good fiber, they're good for your eyes, right? So that's where it's really good. But when we're thinking about meal planning and when we're doing it, we want to start with good fiber first, good soluble, insoluble fiber. That's what we want to deal with. Carrots fit in there. Just make sure that you get that. No, that's totally fine. That's a good one. Do a ton of bean sprouts, and that basil is so yummy. I don't know if they are worms. No, like I said, for me, sprouts, it's just the texture. It's just like, but that's if it works for you. See, that's the thing. I don't teach people to do weird diets. That's the thing. That's what we don't want. We want to have the freedom when we're eating fiber, fats, and proteins, right? We eat the things that we like. I'm a redneck from down south, up here in Alaska, of all places. Fried chicken, fried catfish, and I love my mama's banana pudding. I just know what we need to do to eat it now. And as somebody that was diabetic and has reversed it, that's a huge part of this is learning to eat correctly and following what the guidelines are, but the nutrition science. So those are the veggies that I talk about. So what are some good healthy fats? That's the one that really probably trips people up more than anything. So here's my list that we do, all right, is the good fats, and this is for flavor and satiety. So coconut oils, olive oils, avocado oils, sesame, hazelnut, macadamia nut, walnut, and almond oil, good oils that you can do. Non-dairy fats, all right, we're going to talk about dairy fats too. I'm not demonizing there, so keep that in mind. Lard, ghee, tallow, duck fat, which is hard to come up with. Schmaltz, chicken fat is what that one is. Coconut cream, coconut milk, all good fats, good ones to choose from. Dairy, we're looking at butter, we're looking at cream, we're looking at sour cream, right? These are good, healthy fats. 30, 60, 90. You want to get about 60 grams of these in your day, all right? Greek yogurt, cream cheese, all good options. Mascarpone, ricotta, cottage cheese, great choices, all right? If you got a favorite veggie, type it up in the comment and let me know where you guys are coming in from. Full fat salad dressings, all right? Don't buy that. If you learn how to make it at home, my wife makes great salad dressings. We do salad in a jar parties that we're teaching people how to do that. So do that. Ranch, blue cheese, Italian, all right? Good options. Full fat cheeses. What's that? Goat cheese. My number one cheese is goat cheese right there. We do so much with goat cheese. Cheddar, brie, mozzarella, Swiss, provolone, Parmesan, blue cheese, Gouda, and there's a ton of other ones out there. So these are good healthy fats. All right. All right. Now we talk about protein. So we're doing fiber, fats, and proteins. And here's our proteins. So we're doing 30, 60, 90, 30 grams of fiber. Now I recommend the fiber that I use is balanced. All right. This is important. This is where I supplement to make sure I call it, how are you eating? How are you exercising? What are your extras? Who are you encouraging? All right. I'm encouraging you to look into extras. This is a fiber that is a blend of fibers. You can find out more information over on my page. If you subscribe, you'll learn more about it there when you find more about it. But so we do fiber, fats, and proteins, 30, 60, 90. 30 fibers, 60 grams of fat, 90 grams of protein minimum. All right. That's our minimum. All right. We want to look at meats. All right. Now, this is debatable. I know this gets into all kinds of shiz with people. My daughter taught me that word long ago. All right. I'm going to start with plant-based proteins only because of the controversy. So I am not anti-plants, and I'm certainly not anti-meat. I like the new food funnel. I like that everything is up there together and we're prioritizing stuff. I think I don't, people call it the food pyramid is upside down. It looks more like a funnel to me. So tofu, tempeh, natto, black beans, soybeans, those are proteins. All right. Eat those, not the processed kind like soybean burgers. Right. Grew up with those in school. Make me cringe. Oh, processing soybeans is nasty. But getting good soy edamame, good option too. All right. So think eggs, seafood. All right. Scallop, shrimp, crab, mussels, lobster, octopus, oyster, squid, all great sources. Fish, salmon, number one here in Alaska. Ooh, love our fresh caught salmon. All right. We want to make sure trout, cod, tuna, and those varieties. All right. Wild caught, always better than farm raised. Don't get into this. Don't even start with me. All right, organ meat, liver, heart, tripe, gizzards. My wife loves all that stuff. But it can be good for you. So keep that in mind. If you're an organ meat person, totally good. Canned meats, tuna, salmon, chicken, ham, crab. You know what? Go for it. Go for it. If that's what you can afford, getting the protein, that has got to be key. You've got to get the proteins in. Most people are struggling with the weight loss and the health because they're not getting protein, and people are being jerks about it. So focus on the protein. These are the easy proteins to get. So canned meats, don't go. I know right now, if I say this, somebody's going to go ape crap about it. Bacon. When I say bacon, I don't mean the heavy processed crap. I'm talking do your own bacon at home. Do your own bacon at home. There ain't nothing stopping you from making. We make our own bacon. Okay. Again, my wife taught me to do something. Listen to your wife, save your life. You want to have bacon? We do it at home. None of that cured crap, none of that stuff that somebody else processed and put a bunch of nitrates and nitrites in it. Nope, it's just right at home. We do it. Do your bacon. Hot dogs, look at your ingredients. Always look at the ingredients. Is it meat? Okay, we're good. All right. Don't put a lot of crap in there. Sausage. Look at what's in there. Look at the labels. If there's more than 3 to 4 things in there and you can't understand what's in there, put it back. Find the ones that you can, right? And that includes luncheon meats. I don't give a damn what people are talking about, all right? It's knowing what those guidelines are. I see the articles. I get it, all right? Sausage, all right? Spanish chorizo, pastrami, salami, pepperoni, pancetta, all good options. All good options. Meats, proteins, of course, ground beef, steak, beef, or pork chops, beef, all right, pork ribs, yes, lambs, chicken, turkey, duck, all of it good. Fiber, fats, and proteins. All right. 95% of us don't get enough fiber in our diet. Right here, folks, is the fiber to be getting in your diet. You want good fiber? This is the one to get right here. All right. Now, the second part of this, dealing with insulin resistance, is time-based eating. Get out of eating all damn day. The reason you're sick, the reason your insulin levels are high, every time you consume, your blood sugar spiking, your insulin's increasing. All the women testimonies that I had today, all these wives that were talking about this, here's the thing, time-based eating. I talk about eating till you're full. All right, that's the game changer. You want to do this? Call it time-based eating, call it intermittent fasting. I love this app because I can talk what I want to talk about. You guys can ask the questions that you want to ask, right? Time-based eating, how you break the reason I start with food is because how you break your fast is as important as the fasting. So we want to make sure we're going to get in there. 2 meals a day. That's it. Skipping breakfast. Increase your body's natural GLP-1 with Unimate. The fiber and the tea does everything that you need to do for metabolic health. All right, you start doing the intermittent fasting, you're going to begin to hit autophagy. Your body's going to be recycling the bad cells in your body. You're going to be stimulating your body's natural GLP-1 levels. You're going to stimulate stem cells. You're going to regenerate during the course of the day. That's going to be a game changer. Here's the simple thing. As you get into intermittent fasting, stop snacking. First thing, go 12 hours. Stop eating at 8 o'clock at night. Don't eat again until 8 o'clock the next day. That's your simple next step. First, no snacking. Second, 8 to 8. Third, extend that fast by an hour to get to 16 and 8. If you do 8 to 8, you just fasted for 12 hours. 4 more hours gets you to 16 hours. 16 hours hits autophagy. Human growth hormones are increasing. Your body moves from burning sugar to burning fat for fuel. Your body jumps up the ketone increase in your body. And when you eat until you're full. That makes it easier to go between meals. Drink Unimate before your meals, or in between meals, sorry. You drink the fiber, because when we eat, we want to do fiber, fats, and proteins. That's meal order sequencing, all right? In between, increase your body's GLP-1. Unimate increases your body's GLP-1 by 60 to 70% in a fasted state. Game change right there. Game change right there. You do those things right there, changes everything. Any questions? All right, those of y'all that are here, any questions about the Unimate imbalance in the Feel Great system? Any questions about meal order? Any questions about the foods to be eating? All right, about meal order, about doing time-based eating, intermittent fasting. All right. If you haven't subscribed, make sure that you sub. Make sure you check out the videos that we've got. We've got a live coming up this Thursday with Dr. G and guests. We're going to have some great lives coming up. We're going to be doing a whole new show. So if you've not subscribed, make sure that you sub. Make sure that you sub. If you've not subbed, why are you not subbing? Why are you not subbing? All right, get in there. We're going to help you be healthy together and feeling great. Go get the day. Make it golden. Go be excellent to one another. Y'all have an awesome day, and make sure that y'all stick around. We'll see you soon.